The drama wasn't confined to the Senate either, with Scott Morrison's first week in Parliament ending in tactical retreat due to the prospect of more embarrassing vote losses on the floor of the House. Laws to punish big power companies have been shelved, and the government chose to run down the clock with a record-length question time rather than risk having a motion for a new Royal Commission passed against its wishes. Political editor Andrew Probyn.
A refugee cause they can all agree on. Bahraini refugee Hakim Al-Arabi home after almost 3 months' detention in Bangkok, back in the embrace of his adopted country.
Welcome home. Thank you very much. How do you play?
And permanently, it seems.
I look forward to the day when you'll be presented with your citizenship certificate as well, which I don't think is too far away.
We think that's well underway.
That's well and trained.
A fast tracking to celebrate when Labor continues to defend another that will bring sick refugees and asylum seekers from Nauru and Manus to the mainland.
This Medivac legislation is purely and utterly for a few hundred people who've been in detention under Australia's care for years and years and years.
Protect Australia.
Forced on the government by a hostile parliament, the coalition accused Labor of opening the borders to criminals.
A backpacker from Norway has to pass the substantive character test under Australian law, but people coming from Manus Island or Nauru don't.
The minister's discretion to refuse that transfer is gone.
They should be ashamed of themselves for luring people to Australia by somehow implying that this government hasn't got strong borders.
The coalition's historic defeat not only left the minority Morrison government humiliated, it appears to have marked a seismic shift in allegiances in the House. The same 6 crossbenchers who backed Labor on Tuesday looked prepared to do so again today, to hijack the much-fated big stick energy legislation, so the government shelved it. Then they look set to combine on yet another vote to threaten government authority.
The violence, abuse, neglect of disabled people.
With the Senate backing a call for a Royal Commission into abuse of people with a disability, Labor sensed it could do the same in the House. And the Green senator championing the push was there in anticipation.
Senator Steele-John, you will not interject in this chamber.
Now, I will remain open to every single option there is. I've already demonstrated my willingness to call a Royal Commission.
But to avoid any vote being foisted on it, the government ran question time to a record 2.5 hours.
I move that the business of the day be called on.
As Labor ran its own interference.
I know what's going on here. I'm not unfamiliar with procedure.
I'm not afraid of losing votes in this House. I lost one on Tuesday.
Question at the House to now adjourn.
The way this week's gone, he might have to get used to it. Andrew Probyn, ABC News, Canberra.